Hi and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time dropping by, thanks for checking it out. If you're a returning visitor, thanks for coming back. So the other day I was thinking about all the different planners that I've used over the years, and I thought it would be fun to record a series of short videos where I revisit them. First up is the Happy Planner that I started using in 2015. I remember being so excited to find one in stock at my local Hobby Lobby and being even more excited to buy it with a 40% off coupon. So I flipped through this planner today and I chose a few spreads that I'm going to share with you because I think that they do a nice job of illustrating my early days as a decorative planner. So let's get into it. So the first spread I want to share with you is actually one that doesn't have much going on. I have to admit that as excited as I was to start getting into decorative planning, I was having a hard time figuring out where to begin. So at this point I had some flare markers, I had a tiny bit of washi, and that was about it. I also at this point wasn't ready to invest in stickers. The other thing that was challenging for me was that at the time that I was doing this, I was a 6th grade classroom teacher and I worked full-time from Monday to Friday. So I wasn't exactly sure what to do with my days on the page because I did not want to put work stuff in my personal planner, and I felt like I didn't really have much going on during the week to put in here at all. I did record what I was wearing each day so I didn't get into a rut, and I did record sometimes what we were having for dinner, again to try to avoid getting into a rut. But in the early days, the only parts of my planner that really got much use were the weekends because I didn't have to go to work on those days, and that was my time to get stuff done around the house and spend time with my family. It wasn't till in October where I started using it a little bit more, at least in terms of decorating it a little more. I had increased my washi supply. I had purchased some stickers, so I was using it in that way. One of the things that was fun for me to see on this was this sticker here. It says 6 a.m. for ADRs. If you have ever planned a trip to Walt Disney World in Florida, then you may know that ADR stands for Advanced Dining Reservation. And we were at that point planning a trip to Walt Disney World for April of 2016 for April vacation. And back then, it's 6 months out, you could reserve your dining, and I always did that. I learned a hard lesson once that if I wanted to get into any of the places that looked really good, we really had to have the reservations 6 months out or we wouldn't get them. So anyway, the other thing that I saw, a less happy note, was that throughout the planner I had started crossing off or covering up Thursday and calling it Friday Eve instead. As I mentioned at the time, I was a classroom teacher. It was my 4th and actually final year in the classroom. Teaching is a really hard job, and that particular year was extremely difficult. And I know that part of the evidence for how I was feeling about it was that if I couldn't even call Thursday, I had to call it Friday Eve. That reminds me of just how stressful that particular year was. So then we get to this spread, and this one was significant because, and I can remember like being so proud of this page. This is where I kind of felt like I was starting to get the hang of how to be a decorative planner. And I really liked how this side of this spread looked. I had the washi, the stickers, the icons. I had some fun stuff written. I had layered things. I just really enjoyed this. And it was at this point, it was this spread, and you can see it right here. It says Start a Planner Instagram. This was the spread that I said, you know what? I'm happy enough with this that I feel confident to share this with other planners. And so that's when my planner Instagram was born. It's a different name now. Now I am Kimberly Ann Plans on Instagram, but this was my original name. So I can still remember how proud I was of this spread, and it makes me smile to remember that. I chose this spread to share because it's a good example of how much I started to enjoy using icon stickers. I had them up here for the weather. I used birthday. My daughter was a basketball player, so I got these stickers to show games and practices. I was using stickers for laundry and paying bills and grocery shopping and getting gas, and of course my Plan With Me sticker. I just loved icon stickers. And throughout a lot of my planner journey, I did use icon stickers as a mainstay in my planners. So the next jump, it's a pretty big jump. We go from December to March. And I chose this spread because, again, I thought it looked nice. It did have a lot of white space, though, and I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting to me because I had been on a tear of not really leaving a lot of white space. But then I read the page, and I was like, oh, yeah. So this is the day that I was diagnosed with pneumonia. And so now it makes sense to me that there was some white space because I wasn't feeling so hot that week. And let me tell you, I was 52 when I caught pneumonia, and it really knocked me out. It took probably a good year for me to feel like I actually had my lungs back. So that was a really challenging time. And reading this also helped me understand why so many of the following weeks looked like this. I was still recovering, and I just didn't feel like writing in my planner. So I had several weeks that this is all I was able to do. And in fact, that Disney World trip that I was talking about came up, less than a month after I had pneumonia, and I still wasn't feeling so great. So this was Disney World week. I don't typically take my planner with me on vacation. And as you can see, even back then, my very first, woohoo decorative planner, I didn't take it with me. I didn't record anything about that trip. As much as I love Walt Disney World, and I've been a lot of times, and I have another trip coming up in this coming April, that wasn't a good trip. I tired easily, and yeah, it wasn't great. It took a long time for me to get my planner motivation back, and when I finally did, the first real spread I could find today that showed me doing stuff in my planner again, I love the way it looks. I liked this kit. I thought I had done a nice job with the spread, and then I started reading it, and it was really, to me personally, it was interesting because I have this note here that May 16th was the worst day of my professional life. Talking about acceptance and denial, and I also wrote that it was the longest, most stressful week of my professional life. And what's interesting to me about that is I have no recollection now on this day in January of 2022. I don't remember what happened that week that was so bad. So I don't know, maybe that's a good thing. I mean, why relive it, right? So this is really the last real spread I did in this planner because I ordered an Erin Condren planner that I started using in August. One of the reasons I had gone with buying the Happy Planner was that it was an inexpensive alternative at the time, and I didn't want to invest a lot of money in a planner as a hobby until I knew that I would actually stick with it. But after almost a year in this planner, I knew that planning was going to be in my life as a hobby for a long time, and so I felt okay investing the money in an Erin Condren planner. So I didn't do a lot in this planner after this spread. School got out in June. In July, at the time I was working on my master's degree, and my whole July was taken up with my master's program, and then August came along, and it was time to move into my Erin Condren Life Planner, which will be the subject of my next video. Well, at least the next video in this series of my retrospective of my planners. If you enjoyed the planner, I'm not going to redo this whole video. If you enjoyed the video, I really hope you'll give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. As I add more videos to this series, I will continue to update all of the videos so that all of the links to each video will be in there. But this is number 1, so right now it's the only one in the series. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, thanks for stopping by.